Okay. On a more macro level, is this at all relevant to the work you're doing at the moment about culture change in the working environment, attitudinal change when it comes to treatment of women in the workplace?
I can understand why Christine Holgate feels that that what has occurred to her has been gendered. Certainly, had it have been a man in Christine Holgate's position, I don't think the media would have been taking photographs of their cufflinks. I don't think that there would have been a cartoon in the newspaper the next day depicting a male CEO as a prostitute. Yes, that's gendered. Was the issue itself gendered? No, not at all. And in fact, there have been similar processes going on with other government agencies, that have had absolutely no issue to do with gender whatsoever. So I don't think it's important to conflate those two issues.
Yeah. Look, do you think it's important that she's doing what she is doing at the moment? She did a round of media interviews this morning. She gave this testimony to Senate estimates, and she says that, she's in a position where she can stand up to bullying and harassment where others aren't. What do you think of that view of things?
Well, I'm not entirely sure what to make of that. I think that there are a number of strong women in senior leadership positions, whether they be in government or whether they be in business, that have to show a certain level of toughness. Now, I'm not entirely sure whether bullying and harassment is the right way to
political
describe this.
interference.
That's certainly the way that she has felt it.
We also saw that there were a number of phone calls between the Communications Minister and also Tony Nutt. I mean, are you satisfied that there hasn't been the appropriate separation? There hasn't been undue political influence? I mean, the Prime Minister standing up in question time has a pretty big impact on your career if he tells you to go.
Well, he didn't. He suggested that she stand aside while an investigation took place into the purchase of those watches and the gifting of those Cartier watches, and that's entirely appropriate. It's also entirely appropriate for the chair to make a decision to hold that inquiry, and he doesn't need a formal direction to do so. It would just be a matter of common sense. And indeed, that inquiry took place, and the inquiry found that there was no corruption, there was no fraud, there was no misuse of government funds, but it was an inappropriate choice to have made and not in line with the Act under which Australia Post operates. So the right processes took place. Was it highly emotional? Yes, of course it was. Was there a media maelstrom around it? Of course there was. Was the opposition out there saying she must go, she must resign? Absolutely. There was Senator Kitchens writing an article saying that Christine Holgate had been living high on the hog. And then she had the audacity to turn up to a Senate inquiry yesterday and looking contrite and sympathetic to her plight because and all dressed in white and suffragette white. That's just extraordinary hypocrisy.
Jane Hume, appreciate your time.
Great to be with you, Laura.